And you build trust by delivering everything you said you would and more.
Hello everyone. It was about a year ago when we filmed our internal launch video right here at the David Oppenheimer statue in Stanley Park. I've been impressed by the amount of energy, passion, and commitment shown by all of you in this last year. Together, we've worked hard at becoming a company that can deliver the world. By keeping the promise alive, we can become one of the world's premier produce solution companies. And over time, our customers will indeed come to expect the world from us. You've exceeded my expectations. And even better, you validated my belief in our future. Oppenheimer is made up of talented, very capable people. You show me that when we share a purpose, we can achieve great things. And that's a lot to be proud of.
Coming out of high school, yes, I wanted to be a pilot. My parents weren't paying for me to learn how to fly. So I thought, I got to get a job up Grouse Mountain. I would walk from my home in North Vancouver once a week to the bottom of Grouse to bug the guy for a job. That was probably a 4 or 5 mile walk. And finally they hired me to clean the washrooms and then take care of the bumper stickers on the cars. So by the time I was 15, I had my private pilot's license. And then by the time I was 16, I had my commercial pilot's license. The goal was to get a job. So I've been talking to Air Canada and CPR at that point in time, but there was a big recession. They weren't hiring anybody for a long time. So this opportunity came up to work here. Into the warehouse, they gave me a shovel, hip waders. It was a 50-foot rail car full of cabbage and about a foot of ice on top of everything. And said, you got 4 hours to get this thing cleaned out because they're coming to take it away. I worked in the warehouse for, I think a couple of years, and they approached me to come into sales. Well, you know what? Yeah, of course, I'll give it a try. Just so you know, I want to be an airline pilot, so I'm not going to tell you something, give you a false sense that I'm going to be here forever.
He's done every job known possible, right from the ground floor all the way up, and he, I think, appreciates his people and knows the expectations that he has of what he can ask them to do because he's done it.
So kind of learned the ground up, all aspects, and how important every one of those pieces were.
John is a very hard-working guy, and he expects a lot of his team, and he leads by example. Those ingredients are the magic sauce. There's no fairy dust in there. It's hard work. It's devotion.
If he tells you something, you know it's true. You can take it to the bank. He's a handshake deal kind of person, old school that way in a really good way. Integrity is the basis upon which he's been able to grow this business, one of British Columbia's oldest companies, but he's grown it as he has because the number of people he's dealt with, the number of contracts, number of deals, because they trust him and they believe in him.
He builds people in his organization, he builds their success, and their success, he sees that as his success. So, you know, that's a very special trait, and that really shows the sign of a true leader.
He's always wanted to make sure that its people are taken care of. He's there. You know, he's a phone call away. He's very approachable. I would say his door would be always open and his phone would be always on.
I think that comes from the experience that I had, starting in the warehouse, having a paper route and working on the mountain and doing stuff. I identify with everybody, and I don't see myself any different than the average person.
He's built an incredible company, now a global enterprise, and not many British Columbians have been able to do what John has done, and he's done it really quietly, which to me is absolutely amazing.
It's very easy to kind of go off course, look for some shiny objects along the way. We look for products along the way we can get into, but we stuck to our core business, and then we expanded the services we would give. As this business got bigger, I started to realize that the airplane could be a tool for me in my business as well. Some of our growers are in the middle of nowhere.
He's very involved here. He knows sometimes more about this company than even I know, and people that are working for it know. So it's kind of hard to pull the wool over on his eyes.
He's a real community-minded person, philanthropically, always thinking about others. I mean, I could go on. There's countless reasons why I have tremendous respect for John and the good fortune of knowing him.
Trying to make sure that in the communities that we're in, that we're giving back to those communities. We're in the food business, we want to make sure we can give some food to people. So the way we give back in the airline is the organ transplants. So they're always scrambling to get aircraft. And it's always the middle of the night. It could be nasty weather, but you got to go. How many people have and had a heart transplant or a liver transplant. Some of them have come into the office and come to thank us about our part of making that happen. I think it's necessary, and I think it's something that we need to do to give back.
Generally, you find out very quickly the good guys, and John was always very clearly a good guy who you could trust, and his integrity is tremendous.
He's authentic, he's real, he's sincere, and that is something that people want to get behind and be a part of, and he's proven that time and time again.